Right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to my new channel, Ticker Tactics. So, today, what we're going to do is we're going to go over my portfolio, which I'm screen sharing now, and I'm going to go over why every single stock that I've got and why I am bullish on these stocks. I am a new investor. I've only been investing for about a month and a half now, but I am very bullish on these stocks. I mostly trade on eToro under the name Mason Weston. So if you want to go check out my portfolio, you can. So let's start with today. So let's go over some stocks. So at the moment, there's a lot of bearish sentiment, let's say. There's a lot of bearish sentiment over the Trump tariffs that have come in place. There's a lot of bearish sentiment about the trade wars, according to that, with the Chinese and the US trade wars that are going on. So at the moment, what I'd say is it's one of the best moments to buy in the market. So with that said, these are my stocks. So let's start with IONQ, IONC. So this stock for me is the leader in quantum computing. So what do I think about quantum computing? I think that quantum computing is going to be in the next 2 to 5 years or 10 years, it is going to 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50x. This is the new AI boom. So from the past 5 years, we've had the AI boom, and I think in the next 5 years, we're going to have the quantum computing boom. So this is the NVIDIA of quantum computing. What I normally say is this is speculative. You can't really trust it 100%. But if you're bullish on quantum computing, which I am, this is definitely a stock to own. It is something that obviously if you're buying into, you're speculative about it. You think that it's going to earn lots of money, which at the moment it doesn't have any profit, even though you can tell that it has a $5.4 billion market cap, which is here. But at the moment, uh, it's still speculative, but definitely a good play. So next, Rocket Lab USA. So Rocket Lab USA, I'm really big in space exploration. I have shares in Tesla too, so this adjusts well with my shares in Tesla. So Rocket Lab USA. So what do? They build neutron rockets. Neutron rockets are nothing to do with the SpaceX big rockets that they make. The neutron rockets are much smaller and they get government contracts from. So Rocket Lab, if we look at the past, let's say 6 months, here we can see Rocket Lab going from a low of 747 all the way up to about $31. So that was at the 21st of January. That was the day after Trump got elected. And ever since, it has obviously gone down. Like every stock has gone down. But what did I do? I bought the dip. That's what you should do. Buy dips on these companies because that's what you need to do. The companies you believe in, those are the ones you have to buy the dips for. So Rocket Lab, I'm super bullish on them. They are not profitable, just like the quantum computing, but I think in the future there's just upside for this company unless they go bankrupt, which I don't think they will. I think that Rocket Lab has a massive opportunity in this market. I think short term, a year, maybe 2 years, but I say by the end of this year, they have a Neutron rocket launch scheduled for later 2025. So if that all goes well, as lots of space stocks, then if it goes well, then all good for that. The stock price will go up. Right, so let's go on to the next one. Archer Aviation. Here's another speculative one. So Archer Aviation for me, they make eVTOL, electronical drones. So basically, their mission is to make flying electrical. Basically, we have the electric cars. They want to make electric planes, electric drones, everything that goes in the air, electric. They've just partnered with Palantir, which is one of my biggest stocks I have in. my portfolio. So they've just partnered with them. And I think that in the future, Archer Aviation has got massive bullside. If we look at the past 6 months, it was trading at about $3 6 months ago and then reached the all-time high on the same date. Roughly about the 3rd of January, it reached $11.51 and it's been down ever since. So major bullside. Major bullside for Archer. Right, let's go into my healthcare stocks. So Hims and Hers. Hims and Hers Health. This over Twitter is one of the most biggest bullish posts you can ever do. Hims and Hers Health, if we look at the 6 month, actually let's look at the 6 month. This is even better. So it started off being $16 and then it shot up so much. It went all the way up to about $70. $70 on hype because they make pharmaceutical products, healthcare products online for weight loss, for hair growth, for anything to do with health, they make online. So they've had a major upside. I managed to buy dips on this. At the moment, it's trading at 31.49. I managed to buy major dips on this stock. I think this stock in the future will go up to at least 50. At least. So that's the near-term future. I think the end of this year it will be back to all-time highs. Hims and Hers stock is definitely a must. It's a must buy. It's a must buy. If you're bullish on healthcare AI stocks, this is one of them. But it's not my favorite AI healthcare stock. My favorite AI healthcare stock is Tempus AI. So, Tempus AI. What do we know about Tempus AI? What I know about Tempus AI is there's loads of politicians like Nancy Pelosi and Cathie Wood, two of the one of the most recognized investors in the market politically. They have both invested heavily on Tempus AI. Nancy Pelosi bought this stock when it was around 35.30 and it shot all the way up to about $90 in a month. Why is this stock interesting? Well, Tempus AI focuses on the AI term in its name. So at the moment, the healthcare stocks haven't seen a big boom. But this year, I think this is the year for healthcare stocks to get their boom. So this is one I would definitely invest in because going up against Nancy Pelosi for one is a no-no. She knows what she's doing. She's in the government, and if she invests in something, then I would suggest you definitely invest in the same thing she's invested in. If you're bullish on it, which I am. So Tempus AI is at the moment it's at 46.30 in pre-market. I think this stock will definitely go up to at least all-time highs again, 90, maybe by the end of the year, maybe beforehand, because I don't see it going any lower than that. Honestly, this is a big growth stock. Now to the king of AI, Nvidia. So yesterday, Jensen Huang, he made his event, his AI event. Uh, I watched it. I didn't think it was great. He announced lots of new products. He announced how AI is going to be going into robotics. I like the thesis on it. I think that he is a great leader in AI. I'm a huge believer in AI. I believe most of my stocks, as you can see, are in AI. I believe that AI is going to be the future. I believe that AI is in its 3 out of the 10-year boom that it can get. And I believe that AI will be the leader in all the markets. Whenever these trade wars are done, Nvidia will be going back. We'll be going back to all-time highs. We can see for the last 6 months, it's been up and down and up and down and up and down. It's been choppy. It's been very, very, very choppy. It's got to a low of 106. That was the low. 106. That was the lowest it's been. But it got to a high of 150. This stock doesn't deserve to be under 130. That's just what it is. It doesn't deserve to be under 130. I think this stock is probably the best Magnificent Seven stock by far in terms of value, in terms of market cap, which is $2.816 trillion, just under Apple. I believe that its fair range would probably be around, let's say 130. At the moment, it is undervalued. You should be buying this stock. If you're not buying this stock, then I don't know what you're buying. Nvidia is king. TSM, heavily, heavily invested with Nvidia. TSM or TSMC, however you want to call them, are a Taiwan semiconductor manufacturing company. They've just signed a $500 billion. Oh, was it 500? No, it was $160 billion. Sorry, I mean that's still a lot of money, but with the US. So they signed that 2 weeks ago. I believe that they will definitely grow. I think they have major upside ready. I believe that they can do easily, easily 300. I believe they can get to about 250 by the end of the year. They got to about 225 before the sell-off. So 225. Yeah, I'll say about 250 by the end of the year. Uh, they make the chips that go into Nvidia's machines. So if Nvidia is the best and is king, then the Taiwan Semiconductor is the work. They're the ones who are making Nvidia's business. Without them, there's other companies like AMD that I like, but I'm not invested in. But TSMC is definitely one to look out for and to invest in, especially on this dip. Vistracor. So, why am I investing in Vistracor? What is it? So basically, it is a electric company that deal with nuclear power as well, and they deal with gas. So it's basically a commodities company. So why am I invested in this? Well, one of the reasons is the new Trump administration is has said that they need to build AI data centers. And what do you need in AI data centers? You need more electricity. You need nuclear power. As Jensen Huang said yesterday, he needs nuclear power. He needs more to build loads of data centers to build up his business. So Vishakor is one of these businesses, and there's a lot of them, but I believe Vishakor is one of the best ones. It is a strong buy at the moment at $180 by the end of the year. I believe that, as you remember, the DeepSeek, it went from 188 all the way down to 132. Then it went straight back up to 176. And then since the recent sell-off, it had a low of 110. I got in at 110. I also got in at 150. I got in at 110. I got in at 125. I've literally trying to DCA dollar cost average this stock as much as I can because it is a winner. It is going to get higher. And I believe that in the near future, when the trade wars are off the table, we're going to be rich from this. Vistrakor is one of the best in its field. So, SMCI, Supermicro Computing. So, Supermicro Computing, they've had a major, major throwback and drop down. So, if you look over the past year, they're down 62%. Why are they down 62%? Well, pretty much SMCI, they've had major fraud problems. They changed their CEO. They nearly got delisted from the Nasdaq 100 a few weeks ago, but they managed to prove that there was no fraud involved, and they got their earnings report in time. So the Nasdaq kept them in the Nasdaq 100, which is great news. So you can see here, this is when they on, hang on, yeah, it's about here. It was around about the 10th of February. So here's when they filed for the 10K report, and then went all the way up to about 60, and that was before the sell-off. And then from the 20th of February, that's when the sell-off started, and then it's back. This is going to go up to 60 again. This is going to go up to 75. I believe this is going to go up to 100. They are heavily partnered with Nvidia. They build the cooling chips for AI. They use the data centers for AI. They're based in America. There is no reason why this company doesn't 2x, 3x than what it's at right now. Absolutely no reason. Tesla. So, Tesla, this is being majorly boycotted right now. Majorly. If you look at this chart, I think it's amazing. We went from before Donald Trump's inauguration, we were around about 244. It went all the way up to the highs of 480, and now it's back to 225. That's even lower than it was before Trump's inauguration. I think politically, I don't think Elon Musk should be doing what he's doing. I think it's hurting his business, but I am not going to bet against the richest man in the world because the self-driving that he's going to bring out, the robo taxis that's going to be a part of the Austin conference in June, I think is going to make this price go so high, back to all-time highs straight away. Yesterday, they got the confirmation from the Californian state that they can use their robo taxis in California from this summer. And from that news, if we look in the pre-market, it's already up 3.60%. It's already up 8 points. Why is this? Because Tesla, if you love him or hate him, or hate Elon Musk or love Elon Musk, it is going to do well. Why is it going to do well? It's because they've got SpaceX, they've got Starlink, and if that's not enough, they've got the cars, they've got Teslas, they've got Optimus robots that they're going to bring out in a few years' time. They are going to lead to, at the moment, it's a major downside for Tesla. But buying the dip in Tesla is definitely what you want to do because I don't see it going lower than what it's at right now. It's only going to get higher because people aren't going to boycott Elon Musk forever. He might leave Doge. He might continue with Doge. He might leave Tesla, but I don't see it going any worse than what it is. Let's just say that. I don't see it getting any worse. I only see it getting better. So, Bitcoin, yes, I am invested in crypto as well. So, Bitcoin for me is digital gold. If you're investing in Bitcoin, then you believe that this price is going to go to at least 125 this year. That is what the analysts are saying. I believe them. I think that it will get to at least 125. I believe it will get to more than that. The US states are starting to include it in the crypto strategic reserve that Donald Trump announced a week ago. And I believe that Bitcoin has taken a bit of a hit recently. It's down about 13%, 13.50%. It was at 108, I think. Yes, 106. 106. That's the highs it got up to. Around about $106,000. So that was in Trump's inauguration. I believe that Bitcoin will get higher. I believe we'll get past the 100,000 mark. And I believe that with the crypto strategic reserve that is being built, I believe that Bitcoin will soar, as with all crypto. I'm also invested in XRP. So I'm sure everyone's heard of XRP. If it's not on TikTok, then it's on YouTube or it's on Twitter. XRP is, for me, it's not just a crypto. It has value. It has something there that we can use. If you look at your banks, you have the Swift. Swift is what transfers money, bank to bank, account to account. XRP only does this quicker, but it costs less as well. So at the moment, XRP, if we look at the chart, it was roughly around 50 cents. 50 cents, and it went all the way up to about 330 for about a week, and then it dropped. So it went to about 330. I believe this will get to $5 to $10 by the end of the year. It is a part of the crypto strategic reserve that Donald Trump announced, along with ADA Cardano, along with Ethereum, along with Solana, XRP, and yeah, I think that's it. That is all of the crypto that's in there. But I believe that this will definitely, if you're not investing in XRP, then you're not bullish on crypto. Let's just say that. So, what we got next? So, MSTR, they're obviously a Bitcoin proxy, so nothing much to say about this. If Bitcoin goes up, MSTR goes up. Pretty much nothing really to say about it. The CEO, Michael Saylor, is probably the biggest Bitcoin bull you'll ever see in your life. He buys Bitcoin every week for millions and millions and billions of dollars. So if you're bullish on Bitcoin, you're bullish on MicroStrategy. Well, actually, they're called Strategy now. They changed their name. So last one, Palantir, my favorite company. For me, this company, with its CEO Alex Karp, who is an absolute genius, they run the NHS in England, which is our healthcare. They have 50% of their company, which is tied to government contracts. When you have government contracts, that means you have lots and lots of money because the government has millions and billions and trillions. Even though they did announce that they are going to cut a lot of the defense spending, which Palantir does, but I don't think it will hurt Palantir that much, to be honest. I believe that they took a major hit when the market went down, which was around the 20th, which was around here. So it went all the way up to 125 with some hype, went all the way down to 80, $79. It went all the way down to $79. But I think I think Alex Karp is an absolute genius. I think he is great at what he does, and I think that this price will go even higher. What I wanted to say is this is my portfolio. So I'll be reacting to news every day. Today we've got Jerome Powell that's talking about the interest rate today meeting. So it's around 2 p.m. Eastern time, around 7 o'clock European time, 6 o'clock if you're in England. So definitely be looking out for it. Definitely be looking out for it. I think he's gonna try and get in and out as fast as possible because I believe that Trump is trying to cut interest rates down by causing trade wars, which I think he is doing very well at the moment because in America the egg prices have gone down, the mortgage rates have gone down on the houses, um, and there's been quite a bit of a crash. If we look at the S&P 500, it is in a bit of a crash. It's down 10% from the highs. It was at 612. It went all the way down to 552. It is down majorly from its highs. Why is it down? Because of Trump. Because he wants it to come down. He wants it to come down because he wants to cut the rates. I believe what he's doing, if you look at it if you're pro-Trump or against Trump, I don't look at it in politically like that. I look at it from a market standpoint. I believe that when on the 2nd of April, when the reciprocal tariffs come into place, I believe that it's just a negotiation strategy, and I don't think it will last for as long as people think it will. So I reckon we're going to be right back up by the beginning of April, end of April, all the way back up to all-time highs with the rest of the stocks. So thanks for listening to my video. This is my first video, so don't be too harsh on me. Uh, So, like, comment, subscribe. I would love to build a community here. I love to talk about stocks because I'm very, very interested in them. I'd love to talk about all the stocks that I have, which I did today. I'd love to talk about all different news that's happening. I want to build a little community. I'm not looking too high at the moment. I'm just looking to build a little community. Let me know what stocks you have. Let me know what stocks you're bullish about, bearish about. And yeah, so thanks for listening. Peace.